Imagine a world, centuries ago, where kings and queens ruled the land and democracy was but a distant dream. This was a time when the concept of power was singular, absolute, and resided in the hands of a select few. A time when the voices of the many were muffled by the commands of the few. In this world, the notion of a single person governing with the consent of the governed was a radical idea. Yet beneath the surface of this monarchical system, a seed of change was sprouting. The year was 1215, and a significant event was about to unfold on the verdant fields of Runnymede, England. It was here that King John of England was compelled to sign the Magna Carta, a document that challenged the absolute power of the monarchy. It marked a crucial step towards limiting the powers of the king, a step towards the world we know today. As we delve deeper into the annals of history, we find ourselves in the heart of the Roman Republic, a period teeming with ideas that would shape the future of governance. The Roman Republic, with its elected officials and representative bodies, was a beacon of hope in a world dominated by monarchs. It was here that the concept of a republic, a state in which power is held by the people and their elected representatives, began to take root. The idea of a republic was revolutionary. It proposed a system where power was not a birthright but something bestowed by the people, for the people. It was a radical shift from the concept of a monarchy, and it set the stage for a new form of governance, one that would eventually evolve into the democracy we know today. As centuries passed, the world was ready for a change, a shift from monarchy to democracy, setting the stage for the birth of the presidency. The winds of change were blowing strongly in the 18th century, particularly in the New World. As the American colonies began to chafe under the yoke of British rule, the seed of revolution was sown. The American Revolution wasn't just a fight for independence, it was a battle of ideas, a debate about how to govern a nation. In the midst of this tumultuous period, a group of individuals emerged who would shape the course of history. We now know them as the Founding Fathers. Men like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and Benjamin Franklin were at the forefront of the struggle for freedom and self-governance. They weren't just soldiers or politicians. They were philosophers, thinkers, who dared to envision a new order. And they did more than just dream. They took their pens and drafted the United States Constitution, a document that would serve as the bedrock of the new nation. The Constitution was a revolutionary document in its own right. It outlined a system of government that was of the people, by the people, for the people. But one question loomed large in their deliberations. Should there be a chief executive? And if so, how much power should this individual hold? After all, they had just fought a war against a king. The last thing they wanted was to create another monarch. Their solution was a system of checks and balances. This system would prevent any one branch of government from amassing too much power. The chief executive, who would come to be known as the president, would be balanced by the legislative and judicial branches. The Founding Fathers also ensured that the presidency wouldn't be a lifetime appointment. Every 4 years, the people would have the chance to choose their leader. This was a radical idea at the time, a true break from the past. Thus, the foundation was laid, the blueprint drafted, and the stage set for the establishment of the first presidency. The winds of change had blown, and they had blown in a new era of democracy. In the year 1789, history was made as the United States of America welcomed its first president. This marked a pivotal moment in the annals of the nation, the creation of a novel role, the presidency, under the freshly minted United States Constitution. Enter George Washington, a figure of towering reputation, unanimously elected as the nation's first president. Not a monarch, but a public servant, Washington's presidency was a testament to the democratic ideals the young nation strived to uphold. He took on the mantle not as a ruler, but as an administrator, a leader chosen by the people, for the people. The Constitution, that revered document, had carefully outlined the responsibilities of this new role. The president was to serve as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, to wield the power of veto, and to act as the face of the nation in foreign affairs, among other duties. This was a far cry from the unchecked powers of the monarchs of old. The president was, in essence, a servant of the people, bound by the law just as any other citizen. Over the centuries, the presidency has evolved, adapting to the ever-changing needs of the nation. From the expansion of the executive branch under Theodore Roosevelt to the implementation of the New Deal by Franklin D. Roosevelt during the Great Depression, the role of the president has grown and changed in response to the demands of the times. Yet the core principles upon which the presidency was founded have remained steadfast. The president is a symbol of democracy, a representation of the citizenry's will, and a beacon of the nation's values. This role, born out of a revolution and a desire for self-governance, continues to shape the course of the nation and the world. And so the presidency was born, a symbol of democracy and the people's will, forever changing the course of history.